The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. And in a world that constantly tries to tell you what to feel, what to believe, and how to act, that idea isn't just comforting, it's a kind of freedom. Now imagine this. You can stay calm and genuinely content even when everything around you feels messy, loud, and unpredictable. That isn't wishful thinking. It's a skill, and it starts with taking charge not of the outside world, but of something far more important and completely reachable, your own mind. Stoicism teaches resilience, gratitude, and the art of living well. But this isn't meant to be a museum tour through ancient history. This is about you right now. It's about walking through modern chaos without losing your center. It's about staying steady in the storm and learning to find joy in simple, ordinary moments. It's about turning mornings from something you dread into a launch pad for a day built on purpose, clarity, and quiet confidence. So, if you've been overwhelmed by the noise of life, if peace feels hard to find, or if you're curious how ancient wisdom can become your advantage in the 21st century, stay with me. This could be the video that shifts everything. Let's get into the Stoic strategies that can help you build not only a better morning routine, but a life shaped by intention, strength, and real happiness. I'm going to ask you for something simple. Watch this from start to finish. If you're still here, you're not drifting through life on autopilot. You're someone who wants depth, and that choice already sets you apart. Number 1, find your ikigai. It may sound like a fancy word, but the idea is surprisingly straightforward. Ikigai is a Japanese concept that points to the intersection of four things: what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. In other words, it's your personal reason for getting up each day. Picture waking up with a purpose that pulls you forward, something so meaningful that the snooze button stops feeling tempting. Marcus Aurelius didn't teach people to merely tolerate hardship with a clenched jaw. He cared deeply about contribution, about doing our part, playing our role, and living with integrity. He reminded himself to meet each day as a chance to act with honor and intention. Now connect that to ikigai. It's not only about passion. It's about alignment. When what you enjoy also serves others, matches your abilities, and can support your life, you find a kind of direction that makes your days feel coherent. How do you begin? With honest reflection. Ask yourself, what energizes me? What skills have I developed? What do people genuinely need that I could provide? What could realistically pay the bills? Don't panic if you can't answer quickly. This isn't a quiz, it's a process. You explore. You experiment. You notice patterns. And slowly, the overlap becomes clearer. Ikigai isn't some fluffy motivational exercise. It's a foundation for meaning. When your daily actions connect to a deeper why, even boring tasks feel more worthwhile. Your relationships improve because you show up more fully. Your creativity grows because you're not fighting yourself. And happiness becomes less like a rare visitor and more like a steady background presence. So tonight, when you set your alarm, think bigger than what time do I have to wake up. Ask, what would make me want to wake up? What purpose would pull me out of bed? This isn't an overnight makeover. It's an unfolding. And as Marcus Aurelius would say, it's built day by day through effort, patience, and a commitment to what's honorable. Finding your ikigai isn't just personal fulfillment. It's accepting your place in the larger story and adding your own unique thread to it. Number 2. Prepare your mornings by preparing your evenings. The Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius, believed our actions should be intentional, not random movements pushed around by mood and impulse, but deliberate steps guided by an inner compass. That principle applies beautifully to how we start the day, and it starts the night before. Here's the truth: the quality of your morning is shaped by the way you spend your evening. It's easy to binge another episode late into the night, or scroll endlessly until your mind feels scrambled. But pause and ask what that does to tomorrow. Your brain needs time to slow down, digest the day, and recharge. That's why a simple, consistent pre-sleep routine matters. Treat your evenings with the same respect you give important responsibilities. This doesn't mean turning your nights into a joyless discipline boot camp. It means creating a space that supports your well-being and fits the life you're trying to build. For example, reducing screen time about an hour before bed isn't punishment. It's a signal to your mind, we're closing the day. That single shift often makes falling asleep easier and waking up less painful. Another powerful habit is playing tomorrow in a small, practical way. Even writing down your top 3 priorities can change everything. You fall asleep with a direction, and you wake up with a clearer sense of purpose. This is where the Stoic mindset becomes practical. Focus on what you can control, release what you can't. You may not control how every moment of tomorrow unfolds, but you can influence how it begins. And don't overlook breathing or a short meditation. It isn't woo, it's physiology. Slow inhales and longer exhales reduce stress, lower your heart rate, and help your nervous system shift into rest mode. It's like hitting a reset switch so you wake up not only rested but mentally steadier too. Number 3. Avoid distractions. Right after you wake up. In an always-on world, this sounds almost impossible. But it may be one of the most important habits you can build. Imagine your first minutes in the morning untouched by emails, notifications, social feeds, or breaking news. It's just you, your thoughts, and the quiet of a new day. That isn't only peaceful, it's empowering. Marcus Aurelius was an advocate for focus and intentional living. He didn't have a smartphone, but don't mistake that for a distraction-free life. He lived in the center of power, noise, politics, and pressure. Still, he emphasized the ability to return to the present moment and do what's in front of you with attention. He understood something we often forget: the quality of your attention shapes the quality of your life. So, how do we apply this now? Create a morning window that's deliberately free of digital input. This isn't about hating technology. It's about refusing to let it seize control of your mind the instant you open your eyes. If you reach for your phone immediately, you enter a reactive state. You start responding to the world's demands before you've even met yourself. Instead, give yourself a protected start. Even 303,030 to 606,060 minutes can make a huge difference. Use that time for things that feed your inner life: reading, journaling, meditation, stretching, or simply drinking your coffee while looking out the window. This isn't laziness. It's an investment. When you avoid early distractions, you don't just reduce stress, you build a reserve of calm and focus that carries you through the day. Making mornings better isn't always about adding more tasks. Often it's about subtracting noise. It's choosing what matters before the world starts pulling on you. And again, this is Stoicism in action. You can't control the flood of messages waiting for you, but you can control when and how you engage. So tomorrow, try this challenge. Start your day on your terms. Resist the urge to dive into the digital world. Anchor yourself in the present, and let the morning remind you that each day is a fresh chance to live with more intention, more steadiness, and more alignment with the person you're becoming. Number 4. Wake up at a consistent time. At the heart of Stoicism is a clear principle: focus on what's within your control and act with virtue and intention in that space. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus weren't preaching passive endurance. They were urging active engagement, choosing your mindset, choosing your actions, choosing your character. Waking up consistently is one of those choices. It's a daily statement that you're not starting the day at the mercy of mood, chaos, or external pressure. You are building your life deliberately, one morning at a time. The Stoic idea of constructing a good life through small, steady actions matters. Here, big transformations rarely happen in one dramatic leap. They happen through consistent habits that look almost boring from the outside. Waking up at the same time might seem minor, but it's a cornerstone. It creates stability. It reduces morning panic. It gives your day a predictable foundation. Of course, consistency is difficult, especially at the beginning. The bed feels warmer than ever. The snooze button becomes a negotiation. This is exactly where perseverance matters. Stoicism teaches you to remember your reasons, to look past immediate comfort and focus on long-term outcomes. Every time you get up when you said you would, you strengthen self-trust. You prove to yourself that your choices mean something. Becoming a morning person isn't only about mornings. It's about cultivating resilience, focus, and self-mastery that spills into every area of life. So make consistency easier. Set an intention the night before. Remind yourself why this matters. Maybe you want quiet time to read, meditate, or think. Maybe you want space to exercise. Or maybe you just want to stop starting your day in a rush. Support the habit with your environment. Go to bed earlier. Let natural light help you wake by leaving curtains slightly open. Reduce friction wherever you can. And when it feels hard, return to the Stoic idea of well-earned principles. Each morning you rise at your chosen time. You're not just waking up, you're reinforcing the person you want to become. Number 5, take it easy on yourself. With all this talk of disciplined routines and early mornings, there's something essential to remember. You're human. Human beings are complex. Our brains often prefer comfort, convenience, and instant rewards. That's why building new habits can feel like climbing uphill at first. Recognizing that isn't weakness, it's realism. And realism is freeing. Stoicism, despite its reputation, isn't only about toughness. It also teaches patience and understanding. Marcus Aurelius, in his private reflections, repeatedly reminded himself to be patient with his own flaws. He understood that self-hatred doesn't produce growth. Learning does. This matters when you're trying to reshape your mornings or any habit. The first days and weeks can be rough. Your alarm rings, and everything in you wants to stay wrapped in warmth. And yes, some days you'll give in. That's not the real issue. The real question is what happens next. Do you punish yourself with guilt and spiral into self-criticism? Or do you breathe, forgive yourself, and treat the next morning as a clean start? Patience and forgiveness aren't signs of softness. They're signs of strength. They show you're committed for the long run, willing to face setbacks with maturity instead of drama. Taking it easy doesn't mean making excuses or lowering your standards to nothing. It means respecting that growth has curves, not straight lines. It means understanding that each day brings new challenges, and each day also offers renewal. So as you build these habits, be kind while you're being disciplined. Celebrate small wins. Learn from slips. And return the next day ready to try again. This isn't only about becoming someone who wakes up early. It's about becoming someone who meets life with determination and compassion at the same time. Number 6. Practice discipline in small things. Think about a simple move like placing your alarm across the room. That isn't merely a trick to stop snoozing. It's a statement. I will get up and begin the day intentionally. Making your bed is another example. It can feel pointless, especially if no one else will see it. But it's not about the bed. It's about the message you send yourself. My environment matters, and I choose order over chaos. These small acts are the building blocks of character. Marcus Aurelius would likely say that your life is shaped by repeated choices, not grand speeches. Each time you do a small disciplined thing, you cast a vote for the person you want to be. Why focus on the small stuff? Because it's available to everyone. We can't control the big shocks of life, loss, unexpected changes, conflict, bad luck. But we can control how we respond to our mornings, how we treat our immediate surroundings, and how we prepare ourselves for what's coming. This is Stoicism in action. Commit to what you can influence, and stop wasting energy on what you can't. And these habits aren't discipline for the sake of discipline. They're training. If you can keep your word to yourself in small moments, you strengthen your ability to keep your word in bigger ones. You become steadier under pressure, more reliable, more composed, more aligned with the Stoic ideal of calm strength. So start small. Look for easy daily opportunities to practice self-control and order. In the quiet moments of morning when you choose to rise, straighten your space, and begin with intention, you're forging character. These aren't chores. They're rituals that give your day direction. Number 7, find an accountability partner. This idea is simple, and it works. When you share your goals with someone who supports you and also keeps you honest, your chances of success rise dramatically. An accountability partner turns a solo struggle into a shared path. They help you remember your commitments when your motivation is low. They encourage you when progress feels slow. And they celebrate the wins with you, even the small ones. It's not a one-way relationship. It's mutual support, grounded in the understanding that both of you are trying to grow. The Stoics often emphasize the role of community in building virtue. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus all understood that we learn through relationships. We sharpen one another. We borrow strength when our own runs low. Wisdom shared becomes wisdom multiplied. So finding an accountability partner is deeply aligned with Stoic thinking. Your path is personal, but it doesn't have to be lonely. A good partner can also reveal blind spots. They might notice patterns you miss. They can offer a fresh perspective that helps you adjust your routine and improve faster. This partnership is about more than did you wake up on time. It's about meaningful check-ins, what's working, what isn't, and how you can both adapt. So who should you choose? Someone you trust. Someone who values growth. It can be a friend, family member, or a colleague. Be clear about your goals and what kind of support helps you most. Decide on regular check-ins. And commit to showing up for them too. Real accountability isn't just external motivation. It's a relationship that encourages honesty, vulnerability, and consistent effort, where your morning routines and bigger life goals start to reinforce each other. Number 8, remember death. Reflecting on mortality is one of the most powerful Stoic practices. It isn't meant to be dark or depressing. It's meant to wake you up. When you remember that life is finite, you stop treating time as infinite. You become less willing to waste it on trivial distractions. You start prioritizing what matters: character, relationships, contribution, meaning. Every time you wake up, you receive a new chance to live with purpose. That day is not guaranteed. It's offered. Marcus Aurelius wrote often about how quickly life passes. His focus wasn't morbidity, it was clarity. Seeing life as fragile freed him from petty concerns and helped him focus on duty, virtue, and what was truly important. Keeping the end in mind changes how you approach the beginning of the day. Today isn't just another day, it's a real piece of your limited life. That awareness can reshape how you spend time, how you treat people, what you choose to build, and what you choose to let go. It also strengthens you in difficult moments. When you remember your time is limited, everyday irritations shrink. Obstacles feel less personal. You become more resilient and less easily thrown off by temporary discomfort. This practice also builds gratitude. You notice the present. You stop assuming you'll always have what you have. So, how do you use this in daily life? Start with a brief reflection in the morning. See the day ahead as a blank canvas. Ask yourself, if this were my last day, would I respect how I'm choosing to spend it? This doesn't mean living in panic or constant existential dread. It means living awake. When you remember death, you aren't obsessed with the end, you're devoted to the present. It's a cure for complacency and an invitation to live with intention, meaning, and gratitude. So greet the morning like a gift, because it is. And let that awareness guide you toward a life aligned with your deepest values. Number 9, practice negative visualization. Most people are taught to think positive and picture success. The Stoics offered something different, something surprisingly practical. Negative visualization is not pessimism. It's preparation. It's resilience training. And it often leads to deeper appreciation for what you already have. The practice is simple. Occasionally imagine possible difficulties, losses, or setbacks. It could be something small like missing a bus or getting caught in the rain. Or something bigger like losing a job, facing illness, or losing someone you love. The goal isn't to scare yourself or spiral into anxiety. The goal is to mentally rehearse. You picture the challenge, then you picture yourself responding with strength, clarity, and dignity. This makes you less fragile. When life throws something unexpected at you, you're not completely unprepared. You've already faced a version of it in your mind. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus emphasized how temporary and uncertain everything outside our control is. By remembering that, you stop clinging. You stop being shocked when things change. And you focus where your real power lives, your judgments, your responses, your actions. Adding negative visualization to your morning routine can change your whole day. Instead of walking out the door assuming everything will go smoothly, you prepare for reality. And reality includes friction. Think of it like mental training. You strengthen your resilience muscles. So, when the curveball comes, you don't collapse, you adapt. There's also a paradoxical benefit. You become more grateful. When you briefly imagine life without what you take for granted, you return to the present with a renewed appreciation for it. So practice it in a healthy way. Take a few minutes in the morning. Consider what could go wrong today or what could change in the future. Then visualize your best response: calm, disciplined, wise. Ask what strengths you'd use, what lesson you could learn, and how you could grow. Then release the exercise and move into your day carrying preparedness and gratitude, not fear. Number 10, appreciate your life. Gratitude, especially at the end of the day, can reshape your entire outlook. One of the simplest ways to build it is a gratitude journal. Before you sleep, take a few minutes to write down a handful of things you're thankful for. It might be a kind moment from someone, a sunset, finishing a hard task, a good conversation, or simply having a bed to rest in. Writing it down matters. It shifts your focus away from what's missing and toward what's already present. And that fits Stoicism perfectly. Pay attention to what you have and to what's in your control instead of constantly chasing what you don't. Ending the day with gratitude also sets you up for better sleep. Your mind settles. You stop replaying frustrations. You close the day on a note of peace, even if it wasn't a perfect day, and that evening practice spills into the next morning. When you regularly end the day grateful, you're more likely to wake with less resentment and more quiet readiness. You start expecting that the new day might offer something worth noticing. Gratitude also improves your relationships. You become more aware of others, more expressive with appreciation, and less numb to the value of people in your life. It deepens your connection to the world too. You start seeing beauty in ordinary moments, things you used to overlook. So as we go through all these strategies to improve mornings, and by extension, life, don't ignore this one. Gratitude is not small. It's a Stoic doorway into inner peace, contentment, and a stable sense of enough. As we finish this journey through 10 Stoic-inspired strategies, remember, each one is more than a tip. Each one is a path toward a life built with intention, resilience, and quiet gratitude. This doesn't mean every day will be smooth, but it does mean you'll meet every day as a stronger, calmer, more grounded version of yourself. You have the ability to transform not only your mornings, but your whole life into something that reflects Stoic values, virtue, wisdom, discipline, and contentment. And this is only the beginning. There's an entire world of Stoic insight waiting to support you as you build a more meaningful life. If this helped you and you want to go deeper, check out the playlist on your screen. It's filled with stories, ideas, and practical tools to help you live the Stoic way more fully. Like the video, subscribe for more, and share your experiences in the comments. Let's grow together toward mornings with purpose, days with intention, and a life shaped by gratitude. Thank you for being part of the Stoic Journal community. See you soon.